Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Prey. So we're about to get on the elevator and potentially maybe a jump scare here and there to get back into the main lobby parts. Now, what's weird about this is there really is an argument to go back to psychotronics. There's potentially an argument to go back to pretty much every place after we check out the lobby. I suspect we'll just run into a nightmare or something in the lobby. There's still a lot of things happening here. I wouldn't be surprised if the cook character shows up in the lobby, because we're kind of running out of places like we could run into him. Like, and the lobby would be as good of a place as any to fight the cook character if we are going to fight the character. Although we may not fight him, we may straight up just have like a button on a screen that ejects him into space or something like that. There's possibly arguments to go back to every location. One thing that did occur to me is it would be an interesting twist if all of a sudden, since we've only seen our brother, Alex Yu, in video phone like icon, if it was a case that he was like a computer brain and an operator too, that'd be an interesting twist. If he was a phantom or being mind jacked by a phantom, that would be an interesting twist also. Yeah, I may have to may literally have to just use this remote manipulation, and there really isn't any reason not to take remote manipulation since we already are targeted with enough Typhoon DNA. It does really highlight though that, like, if you wanted to play the whole game and not have the turrets attack you, you really couldn't take Kinetic Blast and Morph and Psycho Shock and Mind Jack. And you kind of should take Mind Jack if you want to free all the humans, which is a different playthrough, obviously, than if you were going to not use any of these abilities. So it does seem like, even though arguably you could get all the achievements in this game with 3 playthroughs through the main game and who knows how many playthroughs in the Moon Crash DLC, it really is probably closer to 4 or 5. Interesting. I probably shot something and had that knocked a mimic downward. Alright. So let's just go check out the lobby. And it takes away your gun, but we have had the Phantom show up here and attack us once. That's interesting. We have a couple of telepaths. You can just straight up like let these guys hit you. Just you can go back and forth, I guess, if you want, and try to avoid taking some damage. And like, sewer packets are a dime a dozen at this point, so we can just do that. The bigger problem certainly would be just a lack of shotgun shells. You have more and more weave things showing up. Interesting. That is not a searchable item. A lot of these dead bodies could be. Yeah, they are just like from things from a long time ago. And arguably maybe I should just take like the weave path.
Good morning, Talos. As a reminder, all personnel must complete monthly physicals during their stay aboard Talos I. Dr. DeVries promises to make them as quick and painless as possible.
And like this glue, I know I put this glue here. So, yeah. Let's see. And there's not going to really be any new things. So unless I just missed things. We can transfer junk here, but it kind of doesn't even matter. I feel like I have kind of failed to save at least one character. I know I've failed to save 2 general humans, but I think storyline wise I probably failed a couple too. And yeah, at any point there could be a mimic. Anywhere. So my best bet start with I think is to probably I have to hack this because it's been so long that I wasn't being detected as a threat before.
Insufficient material found. Standing down.
What really gets me about this is that it feels like there should be multiple smugglers' caches. And we never really found those. Why is this door open? Like, if anything, this would be an area where a security panel almost certainly would open up. The idea that there's 6 security panels somewhere and I've only found one just seems insane. Okay. Let's go in here. We do now have an unlock here. Interesting. I have no idea when we would have possibly run into that point. No newer mod. Some test tube sample, which I think that is just junk. Some Psi-Hypnose. If anything, it just kind of feels like rooms like this are designed to refill your resources as we are getting closer and closer to running out of things that interact with, as we've potentially just cleared out the whole area. Is there something behind here? No. It just made a little alcove. And then that just encouraged me to think that there was something back behind there. But yeah, that just is one more corpse to find in the game of hide and seek.
Hello, hello.
One, two, three.
Welcome, welcome. Maybe I can help you. Hello. Are you here for an appointment?
Yeah, still extremely confused. We'll go ahead and talk to this and get a free heal.
Nothing affordable. Hold on. Please fill out a patient experience questionnaire so I can serve you better next time.
And it's just too dangerous to not be prepared. Did I never find those things, or? Okay. We've got this mind jack ability. Let's see if we can use it now. Okay, we can't do it within the... Let's go and quick save.
The U family caused much trouble on Earth. Now they play with the stars and expect to burn. I wonder why you opened us to the chamber. Make us see a horizon. Sharp, razored. Hungry, you surround yourself with machines, with things. They cannot keep you safe. They will eat you as well after they eat you. Maybe I take your suit. Become and you get shadow access.
Wonder what triggered that. Okay. Let's go ahead and quick save again so we don't have that same issue. Alright, so it moves you very close. So can I activate things? 0, 6, 1, 8. So I'm wondering if I'm supposed to just wait until this guy walks away. Because I don't think a null wave either works. Let's see. Null wave transmitter. Is there a way? Is there a way to like place this? Or do we have to be in stealth? Because I don't think you can just like have... Yeah, when you click on it, it just goes like this. So, unless we were going to go into combat focus to start with, and stealth, and this, 0, 6, 1, 8, and then mind jack. Well, I did it. He is unconscious. So we now also know that mind jacks are the exact same as the null wave things, in that they just lead you to being unconscious or lead other people to being unconscious.
Good morning, Talos. Our resident counselor, Dr. Cole, would like to encourage anyone experiencing symptoms of disturbed sleep, chronic stress, or anxiety to schedule an appointment.
I did get an achievement for freeing that guy. So that does seem like that was probably a particularly difficult person to free. Which I would agree with that, certainly. I really question though if there's anything else here. We had already found that safe, and so this is the reason the safe existed in the first place, is because they needed that one use. Come on, can I not stand on this? Yeah.
Hello.
So they used the safe once. Wanted to use it multiple times. And created the smuggler's aspect to make more sense. Here we have power not connected to this computer, which, I mean, doesn't really look like there's a way to fix that. So they seem to have just wanted to experiment with the idea of having power disabled to computers, but if anything, that really just does push the whole game in a direction where you think that you're supposed to find power when very possibly you're not. Because the game has pretty well trained me that I'm supposed to look at every single computer and try and read emails off every computer. Okay. So that's a small amount of progress. There's a whole second floor in this room, so there could be something. There's just no way you're going to be able to hit that up there, though. Yeah, with the incredible high jump, I guess you can hit even the ones that are really, really high. But if anything, it definitely does just seem like it's more of a case that there's literally one plate, one security thing, smuggler's cache in each level at most. And yeah, I'd still just assume that these are thermostats. What I'm expecting to happen here is that we would have we'll be given some extra options.
How the decompression happened.
It was very sudden. I don't know the specifics, but I had to quickly.
Decompression occurred due to a detonation in the cargo bay.
January. I asked Morgan. Hope you don't mind. I was using your workstation.
I found the right materials to the glue gun as well. Was able to make several canisters.
I also found some food on the way up. Left it on the desk. Don't worry, they're alien proof. I checked, no twitching. To be sure, I let Igwe sample them first.
Pardon me?
I'm joking, Igwe. I wouldn't willingly expose you to aliens. Or anyone else. That would be inhuman.
So she's basically just calling you out.
Morgan.
Like, so obviously I've been kind of a jerk in my old personality. I'm gonna go ahead and just recycle half of these weapon upgrade kits at this point.
Morgan.
Get a bunch of mineral material.
This is certainly better than the cargo crate. But I suspect we are still trapped. I wish I could make my way to my quarters. I have some personal effects I'd rather not leave behind. I hope you don't mind if I use your fabricator. I'd like to help. I don't understand. I've always felt that consciousness is more like music than computation. I was surprised when Alex began to show up to your test personally. Yet he always greeted you the exact same way.
So several lines of conversation there that don't seem like they mean anything. We need shotgun shells before anything else to just get back to where we were. And even at that, we're not going to have that many.
Access from here, but most of the systems are locked down.
So let's start to think of some other things we can get rid of. For minerals, well, first of all, we can, you know what, we could probably get rid of that much and then that much, because we're just not using these psi powers anyways, and honestly we have now psi power refilling with water, so let's just get rid of them all. And then definitely don't want to get rid of neuromods. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of 6 of those. Weapons upgrades, should we even keep 4?
Any luck finding a way off the station?
More shotgun shells. At a certain level, until we make a decision, we are just surviving on this station. You can tell that they didn't really program this particularly well as far as the AI, because they're straight up just bumping me.
Why Russia? Why Russian volunteers?
Well, the Russian system is quite unforgiving, and their alliance with the interest economically coincided. It was Catherine's idea. Their mother, and Alex saw the advantages.
So they were murdered because of political convenience and cost savings?
The term murder I would dispute, but I do not wish to lie to you. These two factors made them good candidates for the research development here. It is far easier to persuade a man to volunteer for experimental trials when his other prospects include capital punishment or life in prison.
I would use the term volunteer, doctor.
So not really a lot of resources for what we did.
Morgan? I could get access to the sim lab, but that does us little good now. I even began to consider if there are any ways to use the helicopter to escape the station.
So let's talk to this lady.
I never told you why I altered my medical records. I know you were so sure when you were lecturing Morgan, saying I was selfish. My father, he was in prison for questioning the Soviet intervention in India. Many prisoners are lost in Siberian labor camps. But my father vanished. The only thing I knew for certain was TranStar recruiting volunteers from those labor camps. I came here to find him, and now I know he was here. I noticed on your computer. You found a set of names and ID numbers from Psychotronics, from Dr. Gallegos. The Russian volunteers were never referenced by name, but I was able to match an ID to my father. We can pull up his records, archive experiment logs. I've already asked a great deal of you, but if you could find that archive in deep storage, I'll finally know what happened to my father. His name was Yuri Andronov. V01065532.
So now we have a new objective.
I know, Alex. He always has a plan. He must.
So we're getting a little bit of backstory, I guess, as to what the world is like on Earth, but it's really not that much.
It was an established process.
That conversation in particular is kind of a great example of how poorly this has been programmed.
Yes, they volunteered.
Volunteers? They didn't agree to be killed.
Because they're not pausing the
yet now
station broadcast. They're not really stopping the people from walking around or moving. They're not putting them in a face mode.
Do you even know what it means to have children, Iwe?
Pardon me? What do you mean?
I will do everything in my power to expose what you've done here.
I imagine these two have a ton of conversation.
Another word, and I swear I will shoot you.
Yeah.
Morgan.
So, yeah, when you think of like The Witcher 3, they have a whole different system to show cutscenes and conversations. And I won't say it's perfect,
waiting.
but it does really make a lot of sense to have something like that where you pause the background sound effects, focus the camera in, take away the weapons, just disarm the character so they're not swinging a hammer.
Got station engineering because black access prevented me from being a pilot. Now pilots what we need.
Did you know the sim lab, your apartment had glitches? We had this pigeon that would strike the window in the same place, same time every 3 minutes.
Okay, let's see what January has to say.
Morgan, the coral is spreading to other parts of the station. I doubt the Typhon are just going to keep building it indefinitely. It must have some end purpose. The discoveries made aboard Talos I seem to validate some form of panpsychism. Consciousness is a fundamental force.
A deluxe cabin. Oh, Alex liked you.
Doctor did. My quarters were right next to Calvino.
I take it back. Maybe Alex did not like you.
I hardly think slandering one of his productive at this time. Calvino is dead, and he was a skilled doctor. He deserves our respect.
That's irony coming from you. After all the respect you showed Morgan at SimLab.
Dr. Yu, both of them approved the experiment.
Really? What about the third Dr. Yu? The one with us now. Not sure Morgan approves.
So yeah, there's just like a lot of conversation, and I think we probably might get one more person in that area, but yeah, I suspect we probably wouldn't have too many more. I think I want to just continue down the main story, though. Like, there's an argument to run the deep storage, there is an argument to trying to find more things. This is yet another computer that is powered down. But I do feel like I've just been all over these areas multiple times as far as looking for security alarms. Doesn't even feel like there is one in this room at all. In particular, that is kind of an extra room anyways. I feel like there was a glitch in the game at some point too, where it was saying I had a lot of shotgun shells, and then I think some of those may have just been phantom shotgun shells that I didn't really have. And I think the game potentially decided to eliminate those phantom shotgun shells. We've been in this area, but it's not ever well lit. And this is another extra area, so like, a lot of the areas in the lobby are extra areas. And it kind of does feel like what happens is you run into a door like this that's locked, which we still don't have a key card for. Or is there? Let's just see what we can lift and what we can't lift. Like these computer cases are not liftable, that's not liftable, that's not liftable. Seems like almost nothing around here is liftable. Let's look up here just to see if maybe there was a key card around in the area. So we'll just pick up everything and see if there's possibly a key card under it. I guess at any point a reployer might be a source of having something under it. Feels pretty unbelievable, though, that there would just be a key card under this section. And then it just gets crazier, certainly because it could be under anything. Yeah. Could also be anywhere outside of this whole area. If anything, it seems more like it would just be a main storyline quest to get into the supply closet. And there really can't be that much there. It's just a tiny little room. But it might be something rather interesting. Last chance. Let's see, what do we want to remove instead? Physical damage, electrical damage, laser attacks. How many times do we get attacked by lasers? EMP. We'll get rid of EMP shielding and then put that instead. Doesn't even seem like the game is really trying to throw a lot of mimics at you in this area. Yeah, and at any point I could have missed something. Certainly. It seems like this is the only place you see this sign. In this sign. But don't think that means anything. There's no security panel here. So again, if there was an IT security badge somewhere in this place, I would have just had to have missed it really badly.
Shock. If you're having trouble accessing a system, please send a help alert to security.
Okay. So, looking at just everything, I could go back to the Neuromod division, I could go to Psychotronics, or I could just do the Arboretum. I think we should just go to the Arboretum and move the main story forward. Like, I will make a hard save after we get to the Arboretum, but I think we really are just best in that way. I'm hoping this game is not so poorly conceived that it throws us into a there's no turning back type scenario and makes us potentially run into a real problem because of that. That would be the only thing I'd be really concerned about. Wouldn't it be funny if it turns out you have to just hit those really fast? Like, you have to be in like the combat focus time. Oh, I'm getting really tired of failing at this. Alright. Off to the Arboretum we go. At a certain point, I know if Alex gives us his arming key and does let us decide to make the decision to blow up the whole facility.
I'm sending you the code to my graph shaft. Assuming it still works.
Here we can see there's a Weaver over there, so let's just shoot it. Yeah, at this point I am uninterested in repairing broken turrets. They just don't do anything for you. Where does body go? It's definitely not impactful, really, when you use the Q-beam. It's definitely not the feeling like the BFG from Doom Reboot, for instance. Feels like there should have been an achievement for picking up or collecting a bunch of those, but you can't really collect them, so. So once again, I'm just looking at like possible areas where possible alarms would be, but honestly it would have to just jump out as being correct at this point for me to even bother to swing the thing at it. Okay. Got a nightmare. Let's just straight up use our audio to get rid of the nightmare. We've killed it, we've scanned it multiple times. Let's see. It's way down here, I think, at this point. Dear future us.
Dear future us. Today, future us. We are not calling ourselves that. Today, I was able to convince my beautiful but stubborn partner to stay in bed and report for an extra shift. And this is the reward I get.
Right. So that was just an audio log we hadn't heard, I guess. You'd think that the repel nightmare sound would the repel nightmare did not work. I don't know why. Let's try that again. I might as well just, like, you know, the only thing I guess you really would want to do is and these things just they lock on you. Alright, so twice that hasn't worked. Let's see. You know what? We'll just take that. We'll just take our Q beam. Let's go ahead and heal more than once. I guess if I get knocked to the side. Seems like the game really didn't want to let you, like, do what you normally would have been able to do there. Which, yeah, not super surprised that the game at some point really would have wanted you to take on the nightmare and have a proper boss fight. But it is strange that then they would give you the repel option at all if they knew they were going to just take it away. Really don't want to take on a bunch of mimics. none of the flowers that had food in here have respawned. Alright.
Hello, Dr. Yu.
So we know several things are in this area. Wonder if there's possibly a reason to try to get to the roof. Or could you get to the roof of that building? Well, I think I shot it, but I don't know if I can actually find its corpse now amongst all this greenery. If anything, that is very possibly part of the issue. We still have yet to find the person we were supposed to talk to about getting this fertilizer. So it implies to me that there is some kind of human in this whole facility that I have yet to meet. That seems particularly questionable. Okay. So that would have been a way in, but now that I look at it, there is actually nothing on the roof. That's kind of a nice way of the game making sure that you don't waste your time. Here we can see another weave. Even the water running sound effect, though, is...
Good morning, Talos. Breakfast is served in the cafeteria until
It's too long.
9 a.m.
It's funny because you have like this bridge element. Yeah. It says I've been there already. Talos Bridge. Yeah. So maybe I just need to go to the bridge. Investigate that. We also know that there's... Let's check our objectives actually, just to make sure we know everything we're doing. We're looking for not to escape Talos. Julian Howard. So we need to use the security station for that, which means we'd have to find the security station. Interesting. Neither one of those signal attempts worked. Crew member named Lawrence Baxter left a gift for lover Ellie Gold under a rock near a tree that's covered in the initials that he carved their initials into in the arbitrium. I can find whatever it is. It could be useful. Yeah. So we're looking for a rock under a tree they carved their initials into, which we have to find a tree with initials in it first, or just look at all trees with rocks near them. The idea that nightmares are...
Dr. Igwe. Are you approaching the crew facilities? If so, this is a sentimental request, but my collection, the gallery of photos the others used to laugh at. Each picture is a decryption key to a set of neural data. Connectomes. The guests who came to the station. Among them, Leitner, the pianist, is dead now. We can't let those skills be lost. It's all that's left of them. Please, Morgan, if you can, I would be grateful. I'm sending you an audio file. Open this safe in my room. You can play it with your transcribe.
So now we have another quest. Still have access to the storage room. Oops. Disarming that. That door was already open. I wonder how many doors actually are booby trapped. And since they were already open, it didn't matter. Okay. Let's see. Julian Howard. We'll do that.
Diagnosing. Superficial injury. Nothing affordable medical care. Try to relax. Hold on. You can fill out a service questionnaire at the front desk.
So we have a terminal. We have Julian Howard this way. Alright, so we'll just walk around this way. The game feels really unbalanced in the sense that either a phantom is going to attack you and then it's going to be so blatant and obvious that a phantom's attacking you that you can just shoot at it without having to scan, or you're going to be attacked by a mimic and then the mimic can just be killed. The mimics aren't really even doing that much of a job nowadays to actually mimic anything. They're actually being fairly lazy about it.
Inspecting your suit somewhere.
So we're still just looking for security alarm panels, which could be anywhere. Any tree anywhere could have initials carved into them. There's arguably too many varieties of trees in this arboretum area, considering how you don't really see trees anywhere else. It would have made a lot of sense if there was only one type of tree and it was genetically engineered to be there. That's not Julian Howard. Julian Howard is up here. Which might put her in this weird area that's more difficult to reach. Which would explain why I haven't found her. Oh.
Yes, dispatch. piss poor route initiation. However, Dr. Lin from Psychotronics was kind enough to provide me with a sample that should multiply the effectiveness of the phytohormones when applied to already mature plants. I expect reduced time to maturity, increased yield, and an above normal salutary effect. Hopefully, it doesn't taste like shit. I just need permission to run the plans through the fabricator.
I don't even think there's a fabricator in this area. Okay. So there's a whole other area over here that lover's gift, find a tree with the lover's initials carved in and where? It must be near it. Obviously, there's relaxation area, tree, lots and lots of trees, not too many rocks. Don't want to get too far away. These rocks are fake. At least the bigger ones are. Alright. One more corpse. And under here is storage room A2. It's key. Interesting. So Weaver that way. So yeah, there's kind of this corner that I've never really investigated. We need to find a fabricator. And then we just have a lot of other quests in other places. Let's see, where is a fabricator? Fabricator would be purple. Yeah. I'd have to go back to the beginning area, which I'm kind of fine with doing that. Grant Lockwood is out that direction. You know what? I would like to not use the Q-beam, but I also know that the Weavers tends not to die very fast. If I tried to shotgun it. Lightner connection. I don't even know what the Lightner connection is. I swear I saw it say Grant Lockwood, but that may not mean much. You may be spinning around in circles. Baseball glove, synthetic material. Oh, somebody's playing like baseball here. Using synthetic material as a baseball. Not a full diamond, though. says Grant Lockwood is 22 feet this way. Grant Lockwood.
Good morning, Talos. As a reminder, all personnel must complete
in deep storage, I guess is what they're saying.
Talos I. Dr. DeVries promises to make them as quick and painless as possible.
If we look at the map now, this would be an area we haven't fully searched. Doesn't really mean that there's much in these areas. Lightner Connectum actually is the guest quest, isn't it? So let's not do that. I know we are bouncing backwards and forwards, but let's actually talk to Alex and see what he has to say. I don't think this is going to put us in an end game scenario. 9864. That seems like that would have been the only way you possibly could have gotten up in this area without climbing the tree, which is what I did before. And so I guess that probably triggered a conversation that many players would never see. What would be funny is if he attacks you, or there's like a recycler grenade or something here.
Morgan, I won't be joining you. Don't worry, there's no trick. Just a gift from your brother. It's the truth. Like I promised. Took me a while to dig it up. Someone wanted to hide it from you. My computer. Another video. Give it a look, and we'll talk. I'm sending you the password. Assuming you haven't hacked your way in yet.
Alright. So, not surprising that he isn't going to be here. So the twist of him potentially being crazy or being a typhoon or being mind-jacked by a typhon still is available. And so, yeah, we hadn't hacked our way into this. I guess I just didn't have that ready. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and make a hard save here. I have to remember now we're out of hard saves too. So, these are... Go ahead and get rid of that. Overwrite that save. And then I'm going to pause the recording and take a little bit of a break, and then I'll be right back. 1 sec. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. It is a weird situation, certainly, in that I've not really seen any real success in making shorter episodes, but even I personally can't sit through an entire 2-hour playthrough in a lot of cases without having to take a bathroom break. So, yeah. But I mean, you look at Twitch as far as long plays and streaming and gameplay, and that's exactly how it's done there too, is that people play for multiple hours and then people watching live hop in and hop out. I was thinking here, we're more than likely going to see a video that tells us something completely different about ourselves, another version of Morgan Yu, another thing. You run into a problem here where we just don't know the level of like deepfake technology in this world. Like, we saw at the beginning of the game that they could simulate and fake quite a bit, in 3D, so why wouldn't they really be able to simulate Morgan Yu, and a older version of Morgan Yu, saying exactly what Alex wants it to say. Honestly, if you told me this whole game was some kind of like MK Ultra brainwashing scheme in which they're just training you over and over to kill mimics and or kill humans in the process, or save humans, depending on how you play, I'd kind of believe that. But the problem with that is, if the big trick was to convince the player to make a moral decision that is against their nature, like killing everybody and blowing up the station for just a cruel, evil reason, the problem with that is most players know it's a video game, and when you compare that to like BioShock, very quickly in BioShock you're given the option to slaughter little girls for more resources, and while most players chose not to do that because they were given an option to save them, they very noticeably did not care one bit about killing all the adult humans that turned into splicers in the game. And that's true for any game, like any zombie game. You're shooting hundreds, if not thousands, of what were once humanoid people. Military games, you're shooting actual humans. Because people know it's fiction, they immediately don't feel a moral obligation to do the right thing, per se. They just do whatever they feel like will be the most entertaining thing. So I have seen in a couple of games where the game tries to yell at you because you made a bad decision that the game pushed you into in the first place, but it never works, and I don't think it would work here either. I guess I could hack this if I wanted to, but there's really no reason to. Alright, let's look at the utilities. We have a looking glass controls and rooftop bridge controls. We'll extend the bridge first, just to see what that does. Might taking forever. You would think something would be attacking you at this point. One file. Fabrication plan for Neuromod. As if you wouldn't have gotten that already. Emails. Now, missing keycard, found it. Some of these look like we've already looked at them, possibly from other people. On top of the computer cabinet, I'd say someone was trying to hide it along with what looks like a bug out bag. Should I be concerned about anything? Is there still... It's still there, by the way. It's from Sarah Elazar. Let's see. EP is, I assume, the escape pod stuff. Is looking for the escape pods. So, let's see. Here's also an email that was on Alex Yu's personal quarters. Email computer. So these are the only two new ones. Read the rogue operator, January. It's shut down or on standby. It could be anywhere. Do I have permission to begin a search? And that seems to be really as far as it went. As far as Danielle Shu looking for the rogue operator, which, yeah, it would be, I guess, a interesting twist if Danielle Shu was actually a bad guy. And then from Matthias Kyle, your sibling is indeed different. I've sent the comparisons to you and Bellamy for evaluation. As you'll see, There's a noticeable personality drift, more than I'd expect from heavy neuromod cycling. It's even more prominent because of the duration in which these behavior shifts have developed. As requested, I did not discuss this with Morgan. Interestingly, Morgan seems unaware of these shifts. As an aside, I believe this poses interesting questions for other applications of the neuromod, not solely therapy, but reconditioning. Yeah, potentially brainwashing, MK Ultra style. Alright, let's watch. I don't even know what the looking glass is. There. And again, this will be a great point for the camera to go.
My name is Morgan Yu. Year is 2035. I'm aboard the Talos I research facility. What else?
Why are we making this video?
Right. Because my big brother is paranoid. Psychometric data showing statistically significant variance in personality between trial runs of the new neuromods. Whatever. I feel more like myself than ever. I mean, look at this. We did it, Alex. It's real.
Enjoy while you can, because in a few minutes it'll all be gone. When we strip out the neuromods we set.
I know, including my memory of it.
No way around it. Let's talk about the backup.
So the Typhon organisms have been producing an elaborate structure. Material is unknown. Purpose unknown. My gut tells me it come of a framework, but externalized. Still waiting on analysis to confirm. In the meantime, Alex designed a device to shut it down if it ever broke containment. Alex just has to grow and commit.
You don't have to take all the credit. What if it doesn't work?
It'll work. Trust me. What else are we going to do? Blow everything up? That won't save us.
And if it does work, is it worth it?
The people that come after us will be smarter, stronger, immortal. They can judge us if they want. But they'll know they exist because of the things that we do.
Interesting, the flashlight doesn't affect the looking glass videos.
I'm ready. Do it.
So this would be like a male Morgan Yu other times.
Well, there you have it. Everything I've done is what you asked me to do. I didn't think you'd believe me unless from your own mouth. The tests, they changed you. Not a lot at first, but eventually, the constant stripping of your memory. I didn't know who you were anymore. All I want is to have my sister back and finish what we started. The device you mentioned, it's an advanced version of the null wave. It's the only way to Typhon without destroying everything we've been working toward. We're just missing some data from the Carl to complete the design. Help me finish this, Morgan. And then you can have my army. I don't really want to use it anymore, but you can have it. I left the chip for you on my desk. You'll need to upgrade your psychoscope to scan Carl. I'll send you the scan locations.
Interesting how it locks the whole area and makes it dark. Just in case, I guess, a mimic would decide to do that. Would decide to attack. And so there was just a whole screen here. Which would have been another way to get in here. Not that... I guess maybe this was in front of that in case you missed it, but whatever. The chipset, I think, just magically appeared there. Alright, so we've got to equip this. Which doesn't seem like that's too hard. At some point I upgraded a bunch of things. Using neuromods, I guess. Yeah. Just do all the neuromods in there. I'm still thinking maybe I would need remote manipulation, so we'll probably fine otherwise. You know what? I think stealth does make some sense though. And just increased sneak attacks would make some sense too. Yeah. All of a sudden, potentially having the enemies not find you. Okay. Shield effects from null wave transmitter. We'll do that. Resistance to fear, we'll do that. Cringe, the wrench we're never even going to use, so. A lot of these chips are the exact same things over and over again. Like, reducing the morph cost is kind of all we need. As far as suit chipsets. Okay. Scan the coral in the exterior. Talos I exterior. Okay, good to figure out. So it's not just this coral here that they want you to scan. So that does just push us in a different direction again.
Morgan, that video was I'm still checking it against my directives. But if scanning the coral will grant you access to Alex's arming key, then perhaps it's the best course. Perhaps knowing the coral's purpose will reinforce your decision to destroy Talos I. Just be careful. We're running out of time.
There is a certain argument to say yes, it wouldn't really destroy Talos I. Or destroying Talos I would not defeat the mimics, because we saw at the beginning here that the mimics were in space to start with, and maybe they were happy in space and not doing anything, but it doesn't seem like the humans went to the moon, found the mimics on the moon, brought the mimics and the Typhons to Earth, and or to the space station, and now they're just trying to get back to the moon or something like that. Let's see. Alex used tracking bracelet. Interesting. Let's go ahead and quick save and just see what's in here.
Morgan, don't. I'm only a shallow copy of you, and I know better than to abandon Talos I. If you leave now, you're only delaying the inevitable. Where do you think the Typhon will go next?
So it looks to me like there's room enough to probably squish at least 8 people into this escape pod. We maybe have a little bit more than 8 people, but I don't know if that would be really that much of to potentially just force multiple people to stand, and maybe they would be crushed in the landing, but maybe they would be willing to take their chances there. Right. So Keys in the Kingdom, Grant Lockwood. I think the smartest move is to go back this way. Well, no, the smartest move is to go back this way first. This'll and you can really just save yourself from any fall. Just make sure that there's nobody in here.
Good afternoon, Talos. The time is now 12 p.m.
So you have Alex use tracking bracelet. Is that actually an item that turns into junk? Yeah. It is just junk as far as the game is concerned. I want more bullets. Certainly. I want more minerals. Let's see. I'm gonna risk it and get rid of half of our spare parts. Howard's growth formula to start with. Craft that. And then shotgun shells. I could use some more Q-beam shells too. Wow, we may have just straight up maxed out as far as the organic. 99.99. That seems like that is all you can do. What if we were to take half of that and recycle it? I mean, it doesn't really have any value, so it would be nice if you could take half of this and then turn it into something else. I guess it is just a fluke though that it's at 99.9 because the exotic material we can see is already past that level. There's definitely an argument to going back to the guts area also. Okay. Let's see. Is it really worth it to run around these kinds of areas? Search. Move. Place. Use. We'll see what happens. Harvest fruit after growth cycle is complete. So I guess that means come back later. Yeah. So I could arguably go back into the guts and look for something. I could go back into the crew quarters and look for something. Sounds like something may have spawned there. I know I have one objective, which is either to turn back to Grant Lockwood. Yeah, 10 minutes. Seems to be the case. There's a quest in deep storage, there's a quest in crew quarters. Still looking for other things too. So, yeah. Always stuck. Like, if I was to look for this character here, at least then we would be done with the Arboretum.
Good afternoon, Talos. Lunch is served in the cafeteria from 12 to 2 p.m. Please refer to the weekly upgrade for today's menu.
Seriously, music is more deadly than the mimics are. So that's like one area where we potentially found everybody. Lover's gift was some clippings and flowers, and then it seems what happened is it turned into a phantom. Lawrence Baxter being shot. So it's a nice little set direction and design, but I don't know if it really leads to much of anything. This is the kind of thing that you would have wanted to have as a more natural revelation that some players potentially would miss, or a lot of players would potentially miss, instead of it being a storyline mission. So where are we really going with this now? Can we potentially find everybody in each area? Is it really worth your time? Find everything? I honestly don't know if I can ever find this person. And it certainly would make more sense to find people that are marked as alive. This one, status is unknown, Kirk Rimmer. We have kind of missed everybody. Have kind of found everybody. Which that may very well just be a case of how this all plays out. You know, what I think I'd prefer to do, though, is let's just go check out the bridge. We've just never been there. We've also never been pushed towards the shuttle bay. So, it is very possibly a case that there are either a couple of areas, and as far as crew quarters, we found everybody. Anyways. Yeah, the percentages are pretty good as far as everybody that we found. This terminal. We've just never been to the bridge because we were chasing the main story, and I'm kind of happy now to break the main story. At any point we may be pushed towards going to the exterior. Is there any security alarm? There might be a smuggler's cache. You'd think smuggler's caches, if you were going to place them in certain places, they would be in fairly open areas where anybody could wander, and close to either the items you're collecting to smuggle out, or close to the exits like the shuttle bay.
I don't know on you, but there's been a launch from the Argus platform. Board of Directors is quick wind of the situation here. I suppose it's inevitable by my efforts. That's why it's important we act quickly, decisively. They'll try to take this hands, Morgan.
I have no idea what the Argus platform is. So I have to just assume that the Argus platform is very possibly escape pods. More escape pods that we can go check out, I guess. Yeah. Do we have kind of a map of this area? If anything, it seems to me like there's probably not that big of an area here. Getting stuck on pipes. Wouldn't be surprised if we found Alex Yu was here. You know, we've completely at this point broken the idea of smashing coffee cups. There really aren't any more of that even happening. So that gimmick, which was probably the one unique gimmick that this game was potentially offering, has now been forgotten about. 10 minutes are up. I would assume that is that. So also, if you would want the achievement for eating each of the pieces of food, you would have to eat the super fruit. Is this a fake bridge? Definitely see a mimic there. You can never get out of the scan modes. Yeah, I'm uncertain if these are just looking glass areas where they're projecting on the screens on the other side, or whether this is implying that this is all just a mock-up fake presentation of the bridge. And this is just yet another example of Alex Yu faking things.
Good afternoon, Talos. Join us in congratulating Dr. Lorenzo Calvino, winner of the Employee Innovation Award this quarter.
Again, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to play audio logs, audio announcements while you're fighting. Shoes, Hunter's Bolt Caster Wine, Shaker Lemon Pie, Russian Finales. So this is like, looks like a party is happening. Little microphones. Pause now if you want to read that, I guess. This would just be where people are giving speeches. It's another new scope chipset. Let's see what that does, because I imagine we could use it. Sneak attacks, restore a small amount of psi. Not really necessary. Well, this definitely doesn't feel like this is a area that was immune from the mimic attacks. It seems like the mimic attacks happen everywhere. If anything, it feels like they did a really good job of coordinating. Medkit fabrication plan once again. Yeah, it seems like they did a very good job of coordinating an attack in a brief amount of time. Which then makes a question about the weave. If it is a case that the mimics can communicate with each other throughout the entirety of the station all at one point and coordinate an attack like that, then what is the weave necessary for? Does it summon in more typhons? This really could be an advanced enclave of just an advanced force Let's just get really close to this guy and take him out. See what this is. Camera array 1, okay. Camera orbit. Camera elevation. Talos monitoring. Okay. So this is a big circular thing. Okay. Just look around the entire bridge. No playback on that one. Gotta make sure I play back all of these, otherwise I'm not gonna get as much story as we'd like.
I got an SOS from a Remmer. I was gonna route into security, but we got cut off. He said he was at the escape pods and life support.
So call Chief show up in deep storage. I'm not a network engineer.
You're his supervisor?
Lady, do you people even know what is happening down here? One of my cargo bases blown wide open. I've got multiple MIAs. Please tell me there's a medical team on the way.
I'm sorry. I don't know, but I can relay your message to Dr. DeVries.
I gotta go.
Where's Kirk? Objective complete. I think we already found Kirk. Rumor. If anything, that feels like that was just a quest that you would have gotten, I guess, if you had gone this direction first. Okay. Guess we just move forward. Utilities, download area map, that could be helpful. So now we kind of have an understanding of the bridge, captain's loft, and escape pod bays. So there isn't too much here. And then I guess bridge people, nobody's alive. Well, just looking for corpses then. That turret may attack me. So you have an interesting case here where I guess pause now if you want to read this. They were trying to make a sci-fi looking bridge, but they're also trying to make it feel like it was built in the 1970s style of architectural design. Pause now if you want to read this. Pause now if you want to read this. Birthday surprise email. You're a captain who seems not to be Alex Yu. Just look on the inside curve here. Life station monitoring. We now have a key card to the briefing room. I don't think we need it. Navigation. Sky Braxton. Pause now if you want to read this. I just can't be bothered to read all of this out loud. Pause now if you want to read the rest of that. It's just too much reading. Honestly, I get the feeling that half of the game development community is made up of writers who just want to write stories. Okay. Let's go with executive level now. That shows us that. R&D level. That shows us this. Engineering level. Did we get engineering level? R&D level. And engineering level. Let's see. Pause would stop something from spinning. Reverse would have it spin backwards. I guess if we paused, maybe that would give you an opportunity to look at things in a different way. That just turns off the looking glasses. Which, if we were to smash one, as far as the looking glasses, and then turn the power back on, that crack is still there, and I don't think you can fix that, which is fine. So I'll just power it off. I don't think you could probably smash enough of it to really matter. Well, you could certainly just spray this with bullets. This doesn't feel like a fake bridge. Although at a certain level I'm not sure that the real control isn't somewhere else. But if it is a fake bridge, it's a fake bridge for a large amount of people, not just one person. Interesting that you have this special captain's chair with like computer monitors. You would have thought they would have used that more often. Talos I. Is there something we can do here? Did not scan enough, I guess.
Good afternoon, Talos. Don't forget that TranStar safety standards call for a weekly inspection of your uniform. Report to the hardware labs for a diagnostic.
Another key card to her cabin, which I guess that makes a good argument to have not gone to the crew quarters yet. We really should investigate everything. Remote detonate scuttle charges, shutter lander countdown, Seattle facility. That is 4 minutes. We've got to quick save here. Figure out what is on that ship, whether we want to destroy it or not. Let's see, did we even listen to this one?
Yesterday's batch was no failure. This poor route
We already listened to that.
However, Lymphatronics was kind enough to provide me with a sample material that should multiply the effectiveness of the phytohormones to already mature plants. I expect reduced time to maturity, increased yield, and an above-normal salutary effect. Hopefully, it doesn't taste like shit. I just need permission to run through the fabricator.
This is Captain Jada Marks. I'm setting down for posterity my deliberation over the fate of the shuttle Advent. I'm unable to determine with confidence if the Advent departed before being contaminated by the life forms presently overwhelming Talos I. best guess based on telemetry data. Advent departed approximately 30 minutes prior to the first incident logged by security. 30 minutes. It is within that narrow gap of uncertainty. I must decide whether or not to remote detonate the shuttle and its 5 passengers. They may very well be flying a cargo hold full of mimics to an unsuspecting Earth. They may not.
Captain! We can sure as hell use that gun right about now!
I don't... Captain? Your shift isn't for another 2 hours, but I need you to come in now.
Is everything okay?
No, it's not. Stop by my cabin first. Bring the gun from my safe. Transmitting the key code.
Right away, Captain.
She has some kind of special gun. Like a GoldenEye reference?
Alex, this is Captain Marks. I'm calling to let you know I've authorized a full evacuation of Talos I. I've tried to issue a mayday to Earthside operations, but our external communication systems are malfunctioning. If you're still with us, we're keeping our posts until the last pods are safely away. Marks out.
Determine the fate of the shuttle Advent is the question, and I think the game is straight up going to ask. Let's see. Prepared by Scott Parker, Tom Cooper, 30 degrees off the flight path. No answer to the radio calls. Captain Cooper ordered a course adjustment to bring us alongside as we maneuvered to within 60 kilometers. A second shutter appeared on a radar in the vicinity of the drifting vessels. Transponders identified it as a military vessel. We echoed a radio message to resume our We received a radio message to resume our original heading immediately. Captain Cooper asked if assistance was required, and the order from the Metelli shuttle was repeated. All highly unusual, but then it got really strange. The captain spotted it first. There was a facility out there, and it was running absolutely dark, no lights, radio transparent. We were too far to see any details, but it was big. Cooper snapped into action, punched in a course to Talos, and fired his engines. We moved out as quickly as possible. Our passengers were clueless of the entire encounter. Our arrival at Talos went by smoothly, and the cargo was delivered safely. So the names here, Scott Parker and Tom Cooper, are the ones to keep an eye on. It's a briefing room key. Right. So if we could bring our disable those. We could enable evacuation. Let's see. So I could do an evacuation announcement. I don't know if we're ready to do that though. New code, higher date. How much time do we have? 3 minutes? Let's see, can we do anything with this chair? Okay. is there a security option here? See, what would really be helpful at this point is if we could bring up a list of names and people but there really isn't a way to do that. If anything, I think that is just the plan, and the goal here is that they want you to question whether you save all of humanity or you risk you save the individual. I'm gonna go ahead and just take this. Increase stealth. Honestly, sprinting without making noise is not that useful, but sneak attack 2 would be useful. Certainly. You still would need a ton of stuff. I would lean towards suspecting that there is a mimic on there, but I don't know. It does seem like she was lunging to destroy it. So, you know, we'll quick save and then we'll execute. And I hope that was the right choice. The problem here with this whole situation is inevitably, if the mimics are in space and we're not killing them all through some like mass genocide weapon, which is what it looks like we're probably creating, then the humans are going to have to deal with them. Earthlings are going to have to deal with them eventually. This is weird that you just can't sit in this chair and use it. Definitely feels like something. Alright, well. Overall, though, the game is focused more on saving individual lives. The value of individuals over the potential of killing all of humanity. So, yep. Let's just let that happen. This guy seems to have really been shot, and this one seems to have been shot. They're not really drained by the mimics. So it does seem like sometimes you just have people that kill themselves. A minute more. We'll go and check out the escape pods, but Shuttle Advent really wouldn't have been an escape pod anyways. Wow. This is a different type of cabinet and I nearly missed it completely. If I had memorized the name and the the IDs from the tracking bracelets of every person, then I probably would be able to recognize Scott Parker and figure out if he was here. Certainly, though, it does just seem like the story wants you to not really have that information, because if they were going to give you that information, that they would have told you. You can get rid of the pre-recorded announcements, and then emergency activations. Yeah, and the game just won't tell you. You just don't know. The emergency evacuation, let's see. Next thing I guess we'll do is we'll just quick save again. Let's just see what happens when we enable this. Seems like nothing. Seems like absolutely nothing happens there. I'm not hearing any sound effects or announcements. Maybe that's just because I'm in a specific area where I wouldn't hear those sound effects or announcements. This is all damaged, so fortunately it didn't attack me. 2 shotgun shells and 1 pistol ammo. The amount of... This is an interesting little design. Yep. The amount of bullets you find in this game is shockingly low. And like, I have the gun fully upgraded. I can only imagine it would really be a nightmare scenario for somebody who was trying to speed run this game or who just hadn't upgraded things. It does feel like they probably have tried to balance each level to be somewhat doable regardless of what level you're at as far as upgraded weapons. If anything, I think that probably just created a bigger mistake as a situation. Mimic detection gene, Gen 2. Let's see what that is. Right. New suit chipsets. Beam shielding, reduce damage taken from lasers. Don't care about that. Gen 1. Detections of hidden mimics. Gen 2. Hidden mimics and greater mimics. And seemingly you can't have both Gen 1 and Gen 2. There's a human in there. Hey, it's Will Mitchell, our psychotic killer cook person, who seemingly has killed a lot of people here. So let's go talk to him and figure out what he has to say.
Morgan, you. We are over now.
Oops. Let's quick load. So we'll try that again. Make sure we're in combat focus mode. Kind of know there's nothing here. So.
We are over now.
He died. Did he poison himself? Let's try that again. Because there's one more option that occurs to me that I could do. We've been carrying this gun, this disruptor sun gun, this whole time. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to charge it up before, but I think I can do that. Let's go ahead and save ourselves some time and quick save here. Expired plasma bat. And so, yeah, off to justice he goes. Or at least we hope. Off to justice he'll go. Meanwhile, we'll investigate some other things. He definitely feels like this imposter cook character would be a hard person to save. And yes, we're not doing the whole Daniel Shoe objective there. Now, where she wanted us to kill. I don't know if any of these actually do anything, because I kind of know the escape pods are broken, or at least somewhat broken. I don't think they're 100% fake, but yeah. See, the smart move would definitely not be to just eject him out into space and send him back to Earth. Because then you'd waste an escape pod. But it does weirdly feel like you're just not finishing the story if you don't kill him. But I also know that there's like an achievement for not killing humans, but not specifically an achievement for not killing that guy. Yeah, it does say optional. Like, apparently he killed her partner, Abigail Faye, and still a threat to the remaining crew. Yes. So killing him as a threat does make some sense. What I want to do is a quick save here, and let's just see what happens. Secure door before initializing. Okay, so there's no way to doing that.
Good afternoon, Talos. Safety aboard Talos I is everyone's responsibility. Send all
we were gonna
requests
turn those off.
to security at TranStar.Talos.
Okay. Almost missed that. So yeah, as far as moral decisions, I've done the absolute best I could with this guy. Bending over backwards to not be the judge, jury, and executioner of someone who is clearly guilty of creating dangerous situations at the very least. And that's just going to mean that that's going to just mean that we don't finish certain quests. Oh well. Probably easier to jump down here. As far as the bridge is concerned, though, it looks like we've done everything and looked at everything. Let's just double check on all of this. Oh man, there is a security station over here. So I probably could have looked at this to figure out like what had happened to the guy. Assuming you can read life signs. Right. But I would have had to have figured out where he was anyway, so still would have been really difficult to make an informed decision. Just because somebody was alive doesn't inherently mean that they are not carrying a mimic with them. The mimics may be smart enough to stay on the space shuttle. Now overall, as far as maps go, think we've been everywhere? It seemed like that was taking its sweet time to load in. The guts to the shuttle bay might be an interesting move. Terminal. Let's see. See if we can play the audio data to dismiss the nightmare, because I don't have any reason to fight it. It's way down here now. Interesting. I just made it to disappear completely. And I'm never going to be able to find mimic corpses. The terminal goes to deep storage. I don't know what specifically terminal they're talking about there. Let's find this body first. Superfruit. Body. So as far as the superfruit goes, feels like you would probably just want to eat it. And probably would want to wait until you need some health. Interesting, it seems like it's a storyline item, not something that to just eat. Okay. That takes a different twist on it. I'm trying to run past a lot of these things and have them, like, could we make some more growth formula, for instance? Possibly. Let's just do it a second time. That would make some sense. Okay. We'll go ahead and get rid of that much. And get rid of 2 null waves. Get rid of an extra shotgun. And where's our favorite handgun here? So we get rid of that one. Get rid of a bolt caster. I'm just sorting things over and over again. And it does seem like pretty much at any point you would have a high chance of getting all of your health back. Like being able to eat each of these things throughout the course of a playthrough, if that's really what you felt the need to do. Just get rid of all of those. That's probably everything we want to recycle. Alright. Then I'm going to craft another one of these and see if we can do it again. I'm going to take some shotgun shells. It does kind of seem like it's just going to be a constant case. Some Q-beam cells. And that is going to leave us just with enough to do one more mod. Okay. Okay. Let's run this way. So we can just do it multiple times. Right, that works well. More than likely we would only need 2 versions of that, one to eat and one to use for some other reason. Okay. So she's like under the house. Yep, here she is. Oh, I repaired that so fast. Another cabin item. And another transcribe. Let's listen to the transcribe.
Your shift for another 2 hours, but I need you to come in now.
Is everything okay?
No, it's not. Stop by my cabin first. Bring the gun from my safe. Transmitting the key code.
Right away, Captain.
So, yeah. It's weird that you have like all this concrete and infrastructure stuff because it really is just not getting used very well in the game. It just doesn't need to really exist. And I don't know if that really was the audio log I just picked up or not. One would assume that all of this is in the order that I picked it up. So, my concern now, really, and I think what's happening here is we're really going to run into a situation where the game is going to push you further and further as far as side objectives. Back to the crew quarters or back to other locations. And we have like 2 key cards, and I couldn't imagine that there would be a third. I'm just gonna have to hope that there isn't a third here. Let's see. This would be the power plant, I'd assume. Just a mimic somewhere.
Good afternoon, Talos. In the event of a loss of atmospheric gravity or other
Okay, back to this. So I'm hoping that we could pick somebody in the crew quarters. We can go back to the crew quarters and investigate it and do everything in the crew quarters. I really am just enjoying the... How'd I get health back? I'm enjoying the shotgun too much, really. Yeah, we have the 2nd generation detection. Oh man, how long have we been going? 2 hours and 30 minutes? Okay. Good. We'll go back to the crew quarters. We'll investigate the crew quarters again. We might go out into space and scan the coral while we're at it. Maybe scanning the coral would do something to create even more mimics to appear. It does seem like it is really just a increasing rate at which mimics are appearing and typhons are appearing. I did have a general feel that the game was going to try to push us in different locations. This is the place where I definitely potentially killed some people on accident. This very well may be the 2 places alone. Yeah, this might be the 2 people that I killed. Is this person and this person, whereas this one lying on their back may have already been killed. It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe this one was already there as a puppet, like already dead, and this one was the one I killed. That's a possibility too. So yeah, we'll just run around the crew quarters. Yeah, it does look like there's only 2 doors here that are killed. And doesn't seem like we could ever have saved Daniel Shu. It kind of would have made some sense to go out to the exterior, and in this level I don't even think you can go to the exterior. Yeah. Yeah. It might make some sense to go out to the exterior and see if you can find Daniel Shu out there. But yeah. I'll overwrite that save. We made definitely some progress today, but it still feels very procedural and slow and grindy. It definitely doesn't feel like you can just run and gun like BioShock. You can't run and pick up some water and refill your health as you're fighting, which would be very nice. You don't ever have enough bullets to just run and gun against the phantoms. Each one of these phantoms and mimics are supposed to feel much more difficult than they are, although in all fairness I am playing on easy. If I was playing on the hardest level, I imagine they might be a lot more difficult, but I imagine they just take more shots. They don't probably have new moves and action sets they can use at higher difficulties. So yeah, it just kind of makes the whole game monotonous. We're still picking up too much recycling material and doing way too much reading and having multiple stories and multiple quests all happen. It makes the whole game feel a lot closer to Skyrim than BioShock, with the exception being that in Skyrim you had an infinite amount of resources and arrows, if you were an archer, for instance, that would let you kill the non-stop spawning enemies. And even in that case, in Skyrim, the dragons were more impactful than the nightmare is, and the number of enemies that appear were far more varied than the typhons are, mimics and phantoms. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and give me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.